2016 National PE and School Sport Institute held on the campus of University of North Carolina, Asheville.
On behalf of Bulldog Athletics
And the North Carolina Center for Health and Wellness, we would like to welcome the hundreds of on-site attendees this year.
We would also like to thank the thousands of off-site viewers from around the world.
Wait a minute. Are you going to be here this summer, Manny-O?
Well, let's just say this summer I will not be in the beautiful city of Asheville where I typically train, but I want everyone to know that as a certified physical educator, this is my next best place to be.
In any case, we would like to welcome you to the 2016 National PE and School Sport Institute.
Yeah, let's go get them.
Go
High
team.
five, baby. Go team.
Go,
Let's
go,
do
go.
it.
Thank you. Does it go? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm assuming that we're okay. It's just an assumption. So again, I would like to thank all of our on-site audience and our off-site viewers all across the United States and around the world. This is our closing keynote for our first day. As a part of this closing keynote, we have a very special opportunity to celebrate the lives and professional careers of two individuals, Dr. Dolly Lambden and Dr. Rainer Martens. And Rainer, from my heart, you know, you're the one that got me excited about physical education. You and your publications, Human Kinetics. And so I'm so glad that you're here, along with Dolly, for this presentation. I would like to bring up Mr. Jim DeLine.
Now, actually, this isn't about me. This is about Dolly. And the truth of the matter is, coaches don't cry. We just sweat out our eyeballs. And I have the very distinct honor and privilege to introduce Dolly Lambden for the 2016 Legacy Award. It's impossible to highlight a lifetime of achievement in a 2-minute introduction, nor is it possible in these few minutes to do justice to the enormous impact Dolly has had on countless teachers across the country. I can say without a doubt that if it weren't for that woman right there, I would not be here in front of you doing what I do. She has just given me faith and guidance and patience, lots and lots of patience, right? She's been a mentor. She continues to be a confidant and an amazing friend. Over the course of 40 years-ish, right? She's been bestowed with national and regional awards that are both prestigious and prominent. Her mark on our profession is indelible and forever. But the most indelible of all is the hope that she brings to people around her and the lives that she touches. You cannot spell hope without PE. Her unrelenting optimism for what we do as PE teachers and her unparalleled passion for what we can become constantly inspires, affirms us, and quietly challenges us to always be better than we can be. She just simply brings out the best in people and sees things in ourselves that we may not see. So Dolly, you saw the best in me, and for that I'll always be grateful. And we're so very grateful that for the sake of kids and teachers across the country, that you see the best in all of us. Congratulations on the Legacy Award.
Thank you. It's amazing to be honored by people that you so admire. So this is very special for me. Although legacy makes me feel a little bit old. This gathering of incredible people just makes me feel confident and excited about the future. I just love debate and the energy, commitment, joy, and love that's represented here. But Artie said I could have 7 minutes. I asked for a couple more to say a couple things. So I have 3 things I want to say. One is, I love you. I love all of you for what you do for our nation and for kids. It's really important work that we do. And thank you for being here, and thank you for being there every day with your kids. Special thanks to Artie and his family who put this event on. Brother-in-law, sister-in-law, sisters, brothers, sons. It's amazing, and we all appreciate it so much. I think of Artie as the PE whisperer. Quietly, he supports all of us, and by doing that, has an incredible voice. I love the individuals and the groups that are stepping up with professional development, Phys-Pedagogy Group, and all the individuals that are coming out on social media. It's just so exciting to be part of physical education at this time. I'm so grateful to my students. 4 of my students are here. Amy's the president of the Austin Association. Bob started PE Pep Talk. My daughter Rebecca, National Board Certified Teacher, who always talks to her kids about why they're learning what they're learning. It's just amazing to me. Michelle Rusnick, who's a coordinator in Austin and guides 200 teachers on what they do. My Austin peeps also include Pat Werner, who has done an amazing job of helping teachers develop a curriculum that's aligned and powerful. It's an incredible honor to be here with Reiner Martins. He's been one of my heroes forever, somebody who started a company to give us the support that we needed in the field. Thanks so much, Reiner. You're amazing people, and I love you. That's first. Second is we have work to do. Obviously, we've not reached all the people we need to when you look at the statistics for our company, or when you check into the hotel and the clerk says, "What are you here for?" When you say, "Help physical education teachers become better," he says, "I could never do a pull-up." But I like PE. We did a lot of dodgeball. Obviously, we have not gotten the message to the masses about what we're all about. We must showcase great programming that's going on across the country. We must teach in a way that causes students to own the material. I want to show you a very short video by Frank Tai in Austin, where he talks about how to help kids own what they're doing.
Oh, goodness. We started doing this about 7 years ago, and the kids really got onto it and felt ownership. We talk about, with all teachers, we talk about things. And just because we talk about it with the kids doesn't mean they know it, and doesn't mean they can show it. And they've got to know it and show it and own it. But also, they can brand it with their name and say, "This is mine." And that's...
It's okay. He points to the posters and says, kids sign these posters when they want to commit to following the wellness pledge for our school. So he has a 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade poster, and the kids sign it when they want to commit to this lifestyle for themselves. Very powerful stuff. So I love you. We still have work to do, but I believe we can do it. I want to show you a short video from Shape America at Speak Out Day. We have lots of people that are helping get us better as teachers. Shape America is taking another step in helping talk outside ourselves to the rest of the world. We'll see if this plays
The enthusiasm and energy of those folks participating in the summit was just electrical.
When you're in that room with 200 people, you could just feel the energy.
So people come here, they get trained. For example, tonight we have a training session for people that have never been on the Hill before, but also those people that have done this before.
They do a lot of the legwork for us and give us that data. We bring it back and we're able to relate it specifically, not just with anecdotal comments, but actual black and white numbers and data and figures.
Thank you, those of you that come to Speak Out Day and speak to your own legislators.
This is our 9th annual Speak Out Day event, and it's our largest ever.
This is my 3rd Speak Out Day. Love the opportunity that SHAPE organizes here, the opportunity to meet with the legislator.
I enjoy coming to Speak Out Day when you look into the eyes of the aide or the legislator and they're really listening to you. It really makes me feel very proud.
You get this education at Speak Out Day, and you get to learn from the best, and then you get to put your goals into action.
Members are able to come to Capitol Hill, meet with their members of Congress, and really make an impact.
We
drove in, you start to see the monuments. People are starting to buzz in the bus a little bit.
Some of our Colorado advocates had the great idea to wear bright neon sneakers to Capitol Hill to really hammer home the message of active lifestyles for children.
It didn't matter what state the senator or congressman was from, they noticed our shoes.
We had a lot of fun with Senator Donnelly, who said, we'll be back next year and you'll remember us because of our shoes. I guess we're brothers in shoes.
We have a lot of work to do, but we're capable of doing it. A couple years ago, George Graham got this award, this Legacy Award, and he has contributed tremendous amounts to our profession. At the end of the award, he took off his shoes and the symbolism of wrestling, placed them on the stage here, said, "This is my last talk to you." Now, he hasn't gone away. He's still re-editing his books and participating in other ways. I thought about it. I retired from the University of Texas after 40 years in January, and I retired because I had some things I wanted to do. So I decided I would take off my daily shoes, the ones I used to teach in each day, and I put on my Shape America shoes. As I continue to try to help you showcase what you do every day in the schools. It's really important for us to showcase that so that people know what it is that we're about. My mother brought me up on a poem that I think is really important for what we do. It goes like this. Somebody said it couldn't be done, but she with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but she would be one that wouldn't say so till she tried. So she buckled right in with a bit of a grin on her face. If she worried, she hid it. She started to sing as she tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and she did it. Somebody scoffed, "Oh, you'll never do that. At least no one has ever done it." But he took off his hat, he took off his coat, and the next thing we know, he'd begun it. With a lift of his chin and a bit of a grin, without any doubting or quitting, he started to sing as he tackled the thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. There are thousands to tell you it cannot be done. There are thousands to prophesy failure. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the dangers that wait to assail you. But just buckle right in with a bit of a grin. Take off your coat and go to it. Start to sing as you tackle the thing that couldn't be done, and you'll do it. We're going for 50 million strong in 2029. Every child in this country getting the skills, the knowledge, the habits, the confidence, the desire, the determination to have healthy lifestyles. We can do it. Thanks so much.
Our next Legacy Award recipient, Dr. Rainer Martens, it really should go to you and Julie. It should. Julie's his wife. How many of you have ever read a book that was published by Human Kinetics? Raise your hand. I mean, it's his reach, his ability to see the needs of physical educators across the United States and around the world. His visionary mission, to me, is unsurpassed. If we did not have him and his company and his staff on board helping us to become greater physical education teachers, health education teachers, dance education teachers, coaches, it wouldn't be the same. So, Rainer, would you please step up, say a few words? Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You almost embarrassed me.
Almost. Fell from your heart.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Artie, to the Institute, to all of you that are here. I want to tell you why this award is really important to me, why it feels so good. If I can be a little personal, I was born in Germany. My parents were German. I was born in 1942 in the middle of the war. My father was a German soldier. He went to the Russian front to fight and was killed when I was less than a year old. My mother, in 1946, met an American soldier who was going through the streets of Rüsselsheim, Germany, passing out food, and he happened to be able to speak German, and they caught each other's eye, and they fell in love, got married, and my mom was the first war bride to return to the United States. They brought me along, good thing. I started kindergarten when I was 5 years old in Lincoln Grade School in Hutchinson, Kansas. I couldn't speak a word of English yet. Unfortunately, my kindergarten teacher could speak German. My grade school years were relatively tough. 1947 on, we had just fought a war with Germany, and being a little German boy wasn't the most popular thing to be. I learned about discrimination. I spent a lot of time in the principal's office. It wasn't unusual to be called a dirty German, a Nazi, and so on. But I discovered something in playing with the neighborhood kids, playing sandlot sports, Little League type of sports, that when I was playing sports, if I could hit the baseball, shoot the basketball, it didn't make any difference what country I was born in. And that gave me real encouragement for continuing to participate in physical activity. I went to high school, and my physical education teacher was also the football coach, and he invited me to play on the football team, which I did. And then I made the C team in basketball. And after a while, he came up to me and he said, "I've been watching you play basketball." And he says, "I want to introduce you to someone." That was the wrestling coach. And see, I had learned to play street basketball, and a takedown was a pretty good maneuver there. So anyway, he had a significant influence on my life, and I ended up playing baseball, football, and wrestling. Then I decided to go to college literally the day before college started. It was a community college, and I couldn't decide what I wanted to be. So the first semester I did pre-med. That looked too difficult and too expensive to me. Then the second semester I went into business as a major. The third semester it was psychology, and on and on. And in my heart, I knew that I loved physical activity, I loved sports, and I thought majoring in physical education, no, that just wasn't prestigious enough. But by my junior year, and I hadn't found the major that I wanted, I decided I'd give up prestige for passion. And I became a physical education major, and I loved it. So I got my undergraduate degree at Emporia State. I went on to University of Montana to get a master's degree in exercise physiology. Then I went to the University of Illinois to do a sports psychology degree. And somehow I fooled them there, and they decided to hire me, and I was on the faculty there for 16 years. While I was doing that, I hosted a sports psychology conference, and it was that started Human Kinetics. We had a conference that everyone thought we should publish the papers from. We sent it to the traditional publishers. They all turned it down. And so my late wife and I decided that we would start Human Kinetics and publish the proceedings, not thinking that it would be much more than that. But at that time, 1974, there were hardly anyone publishing physical education materials or sport and exercise science. And so suddenly people were sending us manuscripts, and Human Kinetics started growing. And by 1984, I no longer could stay employed at the university, and I decided to go full-time with Human Kinetics. The business literally started on the ping pong table in the basement, and today I'm proud to say that we have about 250 employees. We have offices, subsidiaries in Canada, the United Kingdom, and Australia. While I was growing up, I had the opportunity to become a juvenile delinquent, but I turned it down for sport. I mean, that really was what saved me, I feel. James Michener, the famous author, in the introduction to a book titled Sport in America, writes that sports saved his life twice. And I feel much the same way. So after Human Kinetics was underway, during that whole period of time, I still continued to enjoy sport. I've always played senior softball. I just retired from 20 years of playing senior softball. I'm often much prouder of my sports life than my academic life. I was lucky enough to play and then coach the Florida Legends team. We won 107 national championships over a 20-year period. Then I decided to retire just last year. It's one of those things where you run out of competition. We outlived most of the other teams. So I started just staying at home, and Julie, my wife, we like to hike and bike and so on, but I was starting to miss that competition again, you know, that had been part of my life. And Julie was going 30 minutes down the road. She told me she was playing pickleball, but I wasn't too sure about that. But anyway, she invited me to come along, and I started playing pickleball, and just started playing in January. And I got to tell you, I know a lot about motor skills, but taking up a new sport when you're 73 is a real challenge. I'd played in the World Senior Games in softball for many years in St. George, Utah. But Julie and I now are spending about 3 hours a day training to go play in the World Senior Games in pickleball. So we're going to see how we're doing. So the reason I tell you all of that is I just want you to know how important physical activity has been in my life, and how important physical education has been. And to receive an award from physical educators from the field of physical education means a great deal to me, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you.